Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. Yeah, haven't heard me say that in a while, huh? Yeah, well, I am riding the new Magicycle Deer Step Through 20, aka Deer Mini. I think it's going to be hard to get rid of that Deer Mini name. I think too many people know it. But we're going to call it the correct thing. It's the Deer Step Through 20. I think I'm going to truncate that to the Deer 20. I think that's a little bit easier. But the technical name is Deer Step Through 20. I made some modifications to the bike since the last I took it out. We took it out to Racine and Kenosha Harbor. So I changed the 7 pedal level assist to 9 levels of pedal assist. And let me let this car over here. I know he wants to make a right turn. We'll just move over, let him make the turn if he wants to do it, because it's sure. So yeah, it had 7 levels of pedal assist. I moved it to 9. I moved it to the numbers that I typically use when I do it on the other bikes. I also turned down the cruise control. Cruise control was not enabled when I got the bike. So it's not called cruise control on the advanced settings. It's I think it's called set pace. So if you're looking for the cruise control setting, it's called set pace in the advanced features. You know, go to the video that I did about how to set the advanced functions of the Ocelot Pro. It is the same thing. They just added a 1 or 2 extra features on the menu. But yeah, you need to enable the cruise control, otherwise it comes to you not enabled. Now, just like the other Deer, if I were to just throttle down hard, I put the thumb throttle back on here. If I throttle down hard, just let it go after from a dead stop, it typically will zoom up as fast as it can. So you can see right now it's going really fast by itself. That's because of the cruise control. And this is where a lot of people said that they didn't like the cruise control because they felt it was a little dangerous because it was going faster than they thought it should. Yeah, that's if you push it down all the way and then cruise control is enabled. It's going to think you're going to want the fastest it can go. So the easiest thing to do, remembering for that, if you have cruise control enabled, just remember, don't push it down all the way so hard when you start out from a dead stop. You know, throttle it up slowly. And if it goes fast, just touch the brakes. Yeah, just tap on the brakes a little bit. That'll stop the cruise control, and then you can set it to the speed that you want. So right now, as you know, I'm on cruise control. Now, the one complaint I had about this bike is that I can't read this display screen with my polarized sunglasses. Yeah, it's totally black. I can't see anything on it. And of course, I need the sunglasses because you know, it's sunny out here. So I did let Magicycle know about it, and I asked them. I says, "Is there a way to maybe put some type of filter in front of this thing?" I mean, I know that there are things that you could actually stick onto glass to polarize something, but I think if you did it now, it might actually wipe it all out altogether. Because you know, if you have 2 polarizing things on, you know, for your sunglasses and also on the display screen, that might actually just wipe it all out. I mean, it's wiped out now anyway. But I said, you know, they need to kind of look at what can be done to make it easier for people who wear polarized sunglasses so that they can see it. So I think they're going to look into it. I don't know whether they can do anything about it now. And of course, those of us who have the display screens already, I don't think there's much we can do. But at least maybe in the future iterations of their bike, they can look into maybe fixing that up. So, where am I going today? Well, it's that time of the month again. Time to go to the post office. Now, I know a number of you guys had said, why are you still paying stuff through US mail? Yeah, well, that's because some services don't offer options, and if they do, it's maybe some online services that I don't really want to use, so I just pay through US mail for that. So my lawn cutting service, he doesn't, I think he's starting to take Vimo, but is that Vimo? Vemo? What do they call it? I don't know what it is. I don't like using it. So I use the post office. And then also to pay our utility bills, they will take it online, but they charge you extra for it. So there's a convenience fee. Well, that's not that convenient for me if I have to pay a fee for it. So I use the U.S. mail, and it's okay. And now that I have my bike, it gives me somewhere to go. I don't mind. It's cheaper overall, and then I have a function to do. I can go someplace. So I'm riding the Deere Step Through 20 to go there, and I loaded it up again. I put the tool bag in the front basket. I have a secondary battery strapped to the rear rack, and away we go. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because we have the Bike to Drive event coming up. Let me move this up a little bit in the pedal assist. That is happening on Labor Day weekend. It's Lakeshore Drive in Chicago, and that's going to be a 30-mile ride. And I want to make sure I can do it. I was thinking of taking the Ocelot Pro. My wife and daughter will both be riding Jaguarundis. But I said, hey, we got this new Deere Step Through 20. Why not take that instead? I mean, really, it is an Ocelot Pro with suspension. I mean, other than that, it's really the same bike, except it has the suspension. And I said, maybe that would be the bike I should take instead. Show it off a little bit. I like this yellow. Yeah, this is like school bus yellow. They call it dawn yellow, okay? If I would have renamed it, I would have called it school bus yellow. But I guess the connotation of bus is kind of slow maybe, but yeah, this bike is far from slow. I've done 30.1 miles per hour on this bike. It's got power and 96 Newton meters of torque. 750 watt motor that peaks out at 1100 watts. This thing's got a lot of power. So if you use the name school bus yellow, it kind of has the connotation of being slow, and it is far from it. So maybe dawn yellow is the good name for it. Yeah, I tell you, I actually like having this 3D printed thumb throttle thing. I have it done at the library. They don't charge us for the service. They only charge you for the plastic. Each one of these things are about 50 cents. And then I bought a bunch of screws and nuts from AliExpress. It's like a 2mm screw. I don't remember the length of it. And so yeah, I bought like 50 of each of those. So I've got enough to go around. But not having it when I was up in Racine and Kenosha, I really missed it. I mean, just holding it down was kind of tiring to me. To me, just putting my thumb here, and then when I need it, just push down on it. Sometimes I just put my whole hand on it. It's a little bit easier. Now, I'm not going as fast as I know that this bike can go, because I'm trying to reserve the battery a little bit. I'm going to ride for a while. I want to make sure that I can get at least 20 plus miles out of this battery, because I'm going to be carrying 2 batteries with me on that ride. But we got to confirm that we have enough battery power to do the ride. I don't see why not. Most bikes have done at least like 21, 22 miles, even on low battery range bikes. All right, let's get the mail out. Put it in the slot. There we go. I find that if I come to the back end of this mailbox, it's probably safer. All right, should we hop the curb? Let's hop the curb. How's that? That's testing out the suspension, huh? I'll tell you, I've been more tempted to do stuff like that since I had the suspension, because I know I can get away with it. Still not a good idea to keep doing things like that. If you can avoid it, you don't. I mean, why put the extra stress on your rims and everything? Yeah, don't do it. But in the beginning, you just gotta do it. You're like a kid at a candy store. You gotta try different things. All right, now because of the fact that I can't see my display screen, I don't know how fast I'm going or how much mileage I got left. I have to take the sunglasses off and then to see it. But we're just starting out the day now, so I know I have plenty of battery power at this point. Yeah, where should we go? I know if we take a right, we'll head towards that one park that we've done before in the past. Maybe we'll try that. I don't know exactly where it is, but we'll wing it. And it's not that far from not that far from Harper College either. I don't know if we'll do that. We'll just ride around. I mean, I really don't care. I just want to put some mileage on the bike, get a feel for it. Now, the one thing that I think is still a little bit lacking for me is that, like I said, the extension is not perfect for me. The seat post is a little lower than I prefer, and doing a 30-mile ride with the lowered seat post is not as much fun for me. There's somebody on a mobility scooter riding near the railroad track. I don't know if you guys can see it. I know the GoPro can't really pick up things that we see normally. It looks farther away, but we're all just waiting to cross this railroad track. So anyway, yeah, I think if the yeah, there he is over on the right-hand side. Gave him the head nod. He gave me the wave. If it had a little more extension, I think it would be better. But I'm too lazy to buy another seat post. And it's not just laziness, I'm too cheap. Yeah, I'm too cheap, I'm not gonna do it. I was tempted to take either the Cruiser or maybe take the larger size 26-inch Deer step over. But I think because there's going to be so many people there at this ride, you might have to hop off the bike a number of times to avoid running into people. So because of that, I think having a step through might be easier to deal with. And this is why I thought that maybe the Ocelot Pro would be the one to go with. But yeah, I'm kind of tempted just to take this one. I was talking to Mrs. Wright about it because we have 3 people coming to ride. She's going to ride, I'm going to ride, my daughter's going to ride. You know, to fit everybody in the vehicle and also to bring 3 bikes. 2 bikes are going to have to go on the rear rack. I don't really like doing that because I know it's added weight. But we've done 2 Jaguarundis on the rear rack. But being that I'm going to take this one, which is a little bit heavier, I wasn't that much in favor of it. All right, I think we're going to turn here. Let's turn here. I really was that much in favor of doing 2 bikes on the rear rack, but I think we're going to have no choice. We're going to stick one of the Jaguarundis in the back of the trunk area of the SUV, and then put a Jaguarundi and this Deere Step Through 20 on the bike rack for the car. It should be okay. We take the batteries off. That cuts the weight down. I mean, technically, I think that rack holds like 140 pounds. And this bike is like, I think, what is it, 86 pounds? You take off the battery. I don't know how heavy the battery is. Maybe 10 pounds, let's say. So that brings it down to 76. Jaguarundis are, I don't know, what are those things, 69 pounds maybe? Take off the battery, that might be 62, maybe? I'm guessing. So we should be able to make it, I think. Now, if I opted to take the larger bikes, then it'd be another story. If you had 2 of the big Cruisers or something on there, I don't know about that then. But we're not doing that, so I think we'll be okay. You should take the batteries off before you mount the bikes on your car rack. You know, you don't want that bouncing around more than it really has to. So removing the battery is a good idea. And of course, we're all going to be carrying extra batteries. Now, I don't think my wife or my daughter is going to need 2 batteries to do that 30-mile trip. But we've got them. Why not take them, right? We've got front baskets on them all, except I did steal the basket off one of the Jaguarundis to put it on this bike. But there is another basket coming for me that was slated for this bike. I'm going to put that basket back onto the Jaguarundi that I stole this one from. Having the front basket is convenient. I know some guys don't like it because they think it looks, I don't know, less of a bike, less of a guy's bike or something. No, it doesn't, and you need it. I mean, I couldn't bring my my tools that one time that I had a flat on the regular deer, the 26-inch deer, because I had no front basket. I had nothing to put it on, so I didn't bring it, and then that's the day that I have the flat, right? So what's inside this the bag now? Well, I have slime in there. Now you might be wondering why I don't put it in the tire. It's because there's too many bikes. I don't know which bike I'm going to be riding at any given time, and I don't feel like putting slime on every single tire. So I just bring a bottle with me. If I get a flat, I'll put it in there at that time, and then pump up the tire back up and hope that it seals it. And if it doesn't, I'm no worse off anyway. So I figured, why not? So I'll carry an extra bottle of slime with me. And slime versus flat out, I guess I probably would prefer the flat out, but I do have some slime already, so why not? So that's why we've got slime with me, is because I already got it. Yeah, I had half a bottle left, and I figured, hey, I've got it, let's use it. All right, let's see here. Now, when we do the bike to drive, I'm trying to decide which way to go. I think I'll take a right. When we do the bike to drive, I will be pedaling to help things along, and also throttling at the same time. I gotta wait until this car passes me here. I think I need to move over. I'm going really slow now. Any slower, I'm gonna fall off. So there we go. But like I said, without the full extension, and let me lower my pedal assist here. Without the full extension, it's a little bit tougher to pedal. This is why I'm debating back and forth. Should I just take the larger Magicycle bike with me instead, so I can get better pedaling? I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. You know, every time I come here, I never remember exactly how to cut through to get to the other side. Right now, I still have the stock Magicycle saddle on here. I'm kind of squirming between it. I didn't adjust it or anything. And I actually prefer another saddle instead. I mean, even the Jaguarus that I got that are kind of harder, because it is wider and it doesn't have quite a long nose on it. It's more comfortable in that sense because of it. I know one of you guys had mentioned that you do the same thing as I do, where you readjust. Okay, we're gonna have to go this way. This truck is going across there. You readjust the saddle so that it doesn't tip upwards, because it hits certain parts of our anatomy that we don't really like. Yeah, I agree with that. That's what I do. I kind of tilt it downwards a little bit so I don't have that problem. Yeah, where are we? Yeah, see, this doesn't cut the way I want it to cut. Yeah, oh well. Bike route, let's take that. So, I need to change the saddle out on this bike if I decide to take it with me. Now, the mirror, okay? Everything is pushed forward in here, as you see. It might actually be better if I move it over, move the mirror to this side and move the pedal assist thing to the other side, to kind of move the mirror further out. Because at this point, to see it, I'm tilting the mirror differently in order to see past my my shoulder, which is common anyways. We do that all the time. I always have to kind of tilt a little bit. Somebody mentioned, why don't I consider the rear camera and the screens? Well, if I did that with every single bike, I need to buy 20 something of those. That's one reason. The mirrors are a little bit cheaper. Plus, I'm kind of used to the mirrors. I mean, it's just like a car. You know, I'm used to seeing in a mirror, and if I have to move my shoulder a little bit, that's okay. It doesn't bother me all that much. I'm fine with it. So that's why I don't do it. It's basically cost. Forget it. I'm not going to go down this park. I'm not going to keep looking for the thing. I never could find it anyway. Let's just get out of the area. All right, we'll wait for this car to pass me. And let's go ahead and take the street here. Yeah, the thing is with these 20-inch wheel bikes, they're more nimble, they're easier to maneuver. And I keep thinking that that might be easier on the bike to drive since there's so many bikes in the way. But on the other hand, the bigger bike works better for me, but I still think the 26-inch tires are too big for many people. I think a 24-inch version of some of these bikes would be much better. I've mentioned it multiple times to Magicycle. I'm not trying to force them to do anything. I'm just saying that, you know, as a person who has ridden a lot of different brands now and different types of bikes, you know, they should kind of look at what I'm telling them, that maybe a 24 would be better for some people. I mean, not all of us are tall riders. Not all of us are short either. So the 20-inch seems to be better for someone a little bit shorter than me, but I do like riding this. I mean, my handler, I would call her my handler, asked me how did I like riding this bike, and I said, yeah, I like it. It's good. Compared to the neon green step over 26-inch. I might like riding that one a little bit better, only because I can get a better extension. I don't know whether it's because I like the bike better or whatever. It's just that the better extension is better for me. I may be forced to have to buy a longer seat post. I don't want to do that, as you know. I mean, but I may have to do it just so that I can ride this bike a little bit better. And if I do it, I think I have to do it before we do the bike to drive, because if I take this bike, which way am I going here? I'm going around circles. If I can get it before then, I think it would be better for me. And then there's no question I would take this bike instead. If I can't, I'm still debating whether I should take this bike or not. I like the idea of having a full suspension with me. Now, on the other hand, I could do the suspension seat post instead. I have that on my Magicycle Cruiser right now. I could do that. Maybe take the older Magicycle Cruiser, put 2 batteries on that one, and then use the suspension seat post. I actually have the Giddy Up extra large saddle on the Cruiser. So I got that plus the seat post. Man, that'd be nice and cushy. Maybe I'll do that. What do you guys think? The thing is, I want to kind of show off this new bike. Yeah, this bike really grabs attention. I wanted to show off the new bike, but the Cruiser is just a standard white bike. And battery-wise, I have a 15 amp hour and also a 20 amp hour battery for that bike. I could take 2 20 amp hour batteries if I take the Ocelot Pro or the Deere Step Through 20. That's a dilemma. I don't know. And of course, I forgot to reset the trip meter, so I don't know how many miles I've been riding. So I guess we really can't test that out. By the way, when I did the review of this bike, I mentioned that it was the king of the hill, right? It actually went over the hill faster than any of the other bikes. I think it was like 15.1 or 15.2 miles per hour going over the top of the apex of that hill. Yeah, that thing makes it the king of the hill. Believe it or not, the Jaguarundi was the king of the hill before that. I thought it was the Ocelot Pro all this time at 12.3 miles per hour, but I went back and looked at my notes, and I think the Jaguarundi did it in 14 something miles per hour. making it the second. Oops, I can't cut through here. Got the railroad track in the way. All right, well, if that's the case, that would mean we have to get out of this area. Yeah, I don't know this area very well. That's why I'm kind of bopping around a little bit. So yeah, this is the king of the hill. The queen of the hill would be the Jaguarundi. Now, here's an interesting thing that you might notice if you look at the new website of Magicycle. Jaguarundi has changed. Yeah, it has changed. It was a 52-volt battery with a 600-watt motor, and that's now changed to a 750-watt motor, but with a 48-volt battery. Now, I don't know why they did that, and I don't know how that compares. So yeah, Magicycle is going to send me one of the Jaguarundis with the 48-volt system so I can test it. Yeah, we'll compare the two. We'll see how the two do. I want to find out, did they improve it or did it go downhill because of that? I mean, I would tend to think going from a 52-volt to a 48-volt, the 52-volt should do better. Let's see here. Anybody there? Nobody's there. Okay. So why did they drop it? But they did increase the motor. So they went to 750-watt motor instead of 600. So what's the deal with that? No, the guy in the scooter is still there. So I don't understand. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask them. I'm going to have to ask them and find out, why did you do it? And is that an improvement or is that a downgrade? I don't know what the deal is. Did the price go down? I don't remember what the price of the Jaguarundi was and what the current price. I think the current price is like $13.99. I'm not sure. But they did say that it now includes the rear rack and taillight. Whereas if you bought the standard Jaguarundi, you didn't get a rear rack unless you bought the version with the rear rack. Then you had to install it yourself. So a lot of little changes to that bike. I don't know what the deal is. So to distinguish the two bikes, I asked them to send me a white one. And as you know, we have two of them that have the midnight blue color, which sometimes looks black in certain angles, but it is a very, very deep blue. So I said, send me a white one so that I know the difference of what I'm riding then. Plus then you guys can see the difference too. So the white one will be the 48-volt, 750-watt motor. The midnight blue ones will be the 52-volt, 600-watt motor. Now the old version is no longer available from what I'm told. I don't know if they have any more left or not. But the only reason I'm announcing it now and I don't have the bike yet is because I noticed it already on the website. So it's not like it's a secret for anybody, because it does state 48 volts, 750 watts. So I'm going to assume all new bikes being delivered will be that. I hope that's what they're going to be doing, if that's what they're advertising. Now, if you end up with the other version, 52 volt, 600 watt, let me tell you, that bike is still very capable. It is the bike we usually take on rides when we're going places. Mrs. Wright and I felt that, the last time we did it, where we put it in for Racine and for Kenosha Harbor, we took this bike and the Jaguarundi, and of course, like I said, I didn't really want to put two bikes in a rear rack, so we stuck the Jaguarundi inside the car. It's still more hassle to stick it inside the car than it is to just put it on top of a bike rack. So going forward, we said really the best bet is, rather than taking this bike or any other bike, taking two Jaguarundis, which of course are lighter than any of the other bikes, would actually make the most sense to do. And because then we could just take it and put it on a rear rack of the car, and then it's easier to put it on and get it off. Because both of us were kind of struggling to slide it inside the vehicle, sliding it back out. It's just not as much fun doing that. We always worry a little bit about people messing with the bike rack, but if you back your vehicle into a stall so that the bike rack is hard to get to. You know, because maybe you're up against a building or something that's, you know, bushes or something that'll block it. Then there's less of a fear of people messing with it. Let's go here. Let's take this since we're here. So I mean, these are little things you think about while you're dealing with decisions of what to take. I mean, I know most people don't have this problem. I mean, because most of you guys don't have a lot of bikes. Maybe some of you guys have 2 or 3 bikes, but you know, for me, I've been very lucky. I won't say I've been very blessed. Yeah, because these things have been given to me for review. I get to keep the bikes. People say, "Oh, you get free bikes." You know, I don't really look at it that way. I do videos on behalf of the companies by riding it, and I do talk about their bikes. They get advertising out of that, and for that they give me a bike for it. So I'm paid by the bike. So when I hear people asking me to just give away my bikes, I kind of feel like, well, I kind of earned that. I mean, it's like you working as a dentist and say, "Give me all the fees that you made this week from all your work as a dentist." I mean, I kind of look at it as, well, that's kind of my payment, right? So being a retired guy at this point, every little bit helps, and that's kind of how I see it. Hi. All right, so we getting through. Make sure the kids are safe. I know there's other people who just give things away, but that's, you know, but that's how I kind of support myself at this point, is through my work on YouTube. All right, there we go. Thank you. All right, so let me say this too. There are some e-bikes available that I am selling off right now. So which bikes are available? Well, you're going to have to go take a look. Go to the RUSSISRIGHT.blogspot.com site. Okay, if you don't remember that, just look in the description of my videos. There's a link on the description of the videos to the blog. On the blog, I think there's 6 bikes available for sale right now. So if you want one of my bikes, there you go. Yep, they're discounted pretty heavy. But yeah, I don't give them away, but I do discount it to you if you're interested. And it is here in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, so you will have to come and get it. All right, now, can you fit it in your vehicle? Because I know a lot of people don't have bike racks. Can you fit it in there? Yeah, I think so. If you have an SUV where the seats go down, like the rear seats go down, if you have an SUV, if we took off the front wheel, you can get it in there. It's tight, but you can get it in there usually. All right, so if you're interested in a bike, check the link. All right, I made a list in there, and I gave you the links to the reviews that I did of the bikes, so you kind of know which bike it is. Yeah, it's I think there's like six bikes that are available. Some of them are brand new, relatively new. I mean, maybe under 100 miles on them, maybe 50 miles on them. I don't know. So yeah, they're relatively new. So if you want a good deal on a bike, this is the time to do it. All right, you got to come pick it up. And if you're interested, contact me at the email address that's listed there, and then we will work it out. Okay. All right. I've got to clear some space. This is the whole reasoning. It's getting out of control in the house at this point. And I know some of the bikes I won't be riding that much anymore. So it's time to move them on. Some being new, I just kind of feel that, yeah, okay, I've ridden some of them. I've given them some promotion. All right, we're going to stop here. and it's best to just kind of move them on, let some other people enjoy them. Hello. No, no problem. The two-way traffic there is a little too tight. They never did repaint this because people still graffiti it. I mean, there's graffiti on that tunnel again. Why bother at that point? I mean, if they're gonna mess it all up after they put it up there again, that's just a waste. It's a pity that people do that, but that's how it is. All right, we will join the peloton right here. Wait until they get through everything here. Yeah, it's probably the slowest we've ever ridden. I'm not talking too loud. I don't want them to hear everything. But yeah, there's no way I can get through that. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Little kid on the bike in the front. The dad is got a little carrier thing in the back, probably carrying another kid or something. Then 2 others in the back. All right, we're gonna have to pass all this. We're waiting our turn. Yeah, this is about as slow as you can go before you tip over. So anyway, I was gonna go down the path, but no way with all those, not with all the kids there. We will take another route. Anyway, yeah, check out the bikes. Check out the goodies. I'll make some decisions of what I'm going to take for a bike, what I'm going to do, whether I need a bigger seat post, whatever. Who knows? Yeah, good things to have to deal with, but still things to deal with. So anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I'll talk to you guys next time.